have my basic layout of where I want my cards to go, and you'll see that'll change by the end of the video because I end up adding an insert. But my color scheme for this week was really colorful, very vibrant. And I found all these, what is yellow, teal, and pink. And this card, I guess it's a filler card, but that was a cutout on a 12 by 12 sheet that I found. It just says happy, smiles, silly or something. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop that up on with some foam tape. And then I layered the backing on some pink and white stripe. And I like that way that came out. It's very colorful. And I just outlined the edge of the card with some green just to pull all those colors in. Now this picture is just a picture of my son. It doesn't really have a story behind it. I'm not even sure if the picture was from this week, but I just wanted to include it. And I tried to back that card with some washi tape, but I don't know, that color just popping. So I changed it to a darker green. Well, first I put out the pink, then I changed it to a darker green, and that color seemed to work. I'm sorry if I'm out of frame for a second there, but it'll come back. And just looking for something to embellish this card with, and I pulled out that little love sticker and I put it on back of a little green polka dot piece that I found in there. And I'm going to add a brad to this card, but I cut off the little prongs because I didn't want to have to poke it through. And it doesn't have a flat back, so I stuck about 4 glue dots on the back just to make it stick. And I just stuck it. I had to press it down really good to get it to stay. And this is the picture that I chose my color scheme from this week, from the gummy bears on the frozen yogurt. And I tried to include all of the colors, and I found that little piece of cut apart. It came off a Project Life card, and I just cut the card up, and it says "Live It Up." And me and my son were at the frozen yogurt place, and it has games and a little basketball game, and that was his treat for the week for doing so good, eating his lunch and dinner all week. And I'm just looking for another embellishment to put on there, and I find out that little pink, what is that, a thumbtack, and I just add an enamel dot. I think that's all I add to that card. Alright, and this is just another picture of my card. My son at home, I think he was eating ice cream or yogurt or something. But as you'll notice, all the pictures this week are mostly of him eating. That's because, I don't know, lately we've been just having a really hard time getting him to eat anything. So, I don't know, every time he actually ate something this week, I snapped a picture of it. So I wanted to include that in the Project Life this week. And this is just a picture of him eating bread. When all else fails, I just pull out a piece of bread, and that'll be his dinner or his meal or whatever. And that little details cardstock, that also came in that pack with the brads. And it had a black brad on it. I just pulled the brad off because I didn't feel like trying to stick it on there. And I'm going to cover the little hole that the brad left with an enamel dot, and that gold didn't go, so I found that aqua one. And here's another picture of my son eating. I'm just mounting it with all 3 of the colors, that pink, the aqua, and the orange. And that little orange frame is from when I had my Cricut. I cut all these shapes, and I've been having them in my stash forever. So it's nice to finally be able to use some of them. And I just had so much trouble journaling on this card. First, my pen started skipping, my little Target dollar spot pens. And those, I don't know, once you use them a while, they just start skipping. At that point, I just throw them away. So then I pulled out another ink pen, and I tried to journal again. And you see, when I turned it over to glue it down, it's just smudged everywhere. And I don't know, I didn't like it. So I pulled that up. It had another line, so I just cut the extra line off. So I pulled out my Sharpie pen, and it's in that light blue. You can hardly see it, but I mean, I don't know, I guess if you squint, you can see it. And then Alright, this is going to be a journaling card, and I'm just looking for some stickers to put the title. And I end up putting Look Who's Eating. It's just the story of the week, how it's just been so difficult to get my son to eat anything. And I've had those little mini stickers. Those came from Hobby Lobby. I've had them forever. Now the yellow ones came from Chicken Nitty, or is it Chicken Ditty? I don't know. It came from one of their kits. I haven't used anything but the letters on it so far, and they have a really nice texture to them. And I add that orange sticker. That orange sticker came from Target Dollar Spot. It was like a page of labels, and I've had that forever also. And I'm doing another journaling card just about dinner time on a different night. And that little Right Now, I stamped that a while back on vellum. I was trying to use my stamps because I am not a stamper. My stamps never come out right. They always smudge. I just have a hard time using stamps. But I had pre-stamped a bunch of little vellum pieces. And I had to stick the glue bottle because the edges kept popping up. I don't know why, it just wouldn't stay down. And I wanted to put that little LOL at the bottom. But once I finished my journaling, I ran out of room. And that journaling is just about my son eating some chicken. I usually have to pull his chicken off the bone and cut it in little pieces and force feed him and stick it in his mouth. And that night, I guess he was so hungry because I had cut out all his snacks and juice and everything. And I guess he was finally hungry enough, so he grabbed his chicken. He was like, "This is how Daddy eats his chicken." And I don't know, it was just so funny. That's why I put that little card that said you had to be there. And this is just a filler card. Since I'm adding an insert, I needed another filler card. And I'm just putting that, it says right here, right now. And I'm going to put the little rainbow behind there. And I think I finished that card off with some enamel dots. And that card is pretty much done. But I like the way it came out because it's so, I don't know, it's so bright and colorful. I normally start with my title card, but I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do on the title card. So I said, you know what, I'll come back to it. Now, I originally had that yellow polka dot card, and I switched it out because, I don't know, it was just too much yellow. And I already used that polka dot once. And I'm just cutting that little die cut. I'm cutting the edge around that circle to give it a little more interest. And I couldn't find any stickers that match this week, so I decided just to color it with some fingernail polish. And I was taking a chance, but I said, you know what, if it doesn't work, I can just pull it up and pop on more stickers. But it actually worked. It took a while to dry, so while it was drying, I just went ahead and added the rest of my embellishments. I added that hello, and I added the week. And while I had the fingernail polish out, I was like, you know what, I should just make my own little enamel dot, because I only had one orange enamel dot left. So I made my little enamel dots, and that is that Insta Dry fingernail polish. I think I got that at Walmart. And on to the next card. This is another filler card for my insert. And it just says, "Just because, smile and I love you." And I think the camera's going to go dead at this point, so you don't get to see me finish this card. I don't know, my camera was just, it just did not want to cooperate. So yeah, it just cut off on that card. So you'll get to see it at the end. And that little ice cream, it came out of a Pebbles kit, and it's called Build Ice Cream Sundae. And it's fun because you get all these little pieces to build your little flavors and add your sprinkles. So I had a lot of fun with it. And I'll put, if I can find it, I'll put the link in the description box. I'm trying to give you a close-up of that card that you missed. And I went back and added some more fingernail polish to the other cards, just to add, since it worked on the first card. I was like, you know, why not add more? And I did let them sit a while. The title card, I let it sit while I went to fix dinner. So that one sat a little longer than the other cards, and that card was fine. The other ones, I just let them dry to the touch. And when I put them in the book the little dots or the little circles flattened out. I mean, they're still dry, but they're just flat. And the other ones are fine on the title card. They stayed, I don't know, they stayed round. And here I'm just figuring what order I want to put my cards in, because I didn't plan ahead of time to do the insert. So I had to rearrange a few of my cards. And I'm just cutting down one of those page protectors for my insert and sticking that in the middle. And I'm going to put the 2 filler cards on the top. Alright, and that is it for this layout. I hope you enjoyed it. And I also did another video in case you wanted to see how I organize everything before I start doing a layout. That video, I'll also leave a link to that one. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. And I will see you guys next time.